Would you agree, George, with the following statement, that the Russians are rushing with this Kursk offensive to put some kind of a leverage, to have some kind of a leverage on the future peace talks?
Putin's been very clear. Putin and the Kremlin has signaled that they're not willing to negotiate over Russian territory. It's always been ISW's assessment that Russia will warfight for Kursk before going to negotiate due to the international prestige connected with that. And I'm not surprised, because the Russians have a massive military. If you look at the Ukrainian forces that went into Kursk, it's a limited force, just a couple brigades. They tied up an entire combined arms army worth of Russian soldiers there, including airborne units and naval infantry units. And so, that's significant. At the same time, the Ukrainians have seized the tactical initiative around Pokrovsk. They are taking back some ground in Toretsk, and the roughly army-sized group of forces in Kursk is not available to reinforce the current Ukrainian counterattacks around Pokrovsk and around Toretsk. So those are the trade-offs in this war.
Evaluating what's going on in the front line, especially in the Kursk region, can we say that Russian gains in Kursk region were partially, at least, due to this pausing of the assistance of the United States to Ukraine?
I'm hesitant to say there's a causation. We know for a fact that the Ukrainians had been being slowly pushed out of Kursk for a long time since the fall, and that this was a trend. Now, the Russians conducted an intensified campaign over the weekend to try to push the Ukrainians out of Kursk, and they've had some successes, unfortunately. I think the Russians took advantage of the suspension of intelligence sharing. I'd note that we did not see effective use of HIMARS strikes into Kursk during that time, which of course the Ukrainians rely on targeting information for that. And I think that the Russians likely had better success than they would have otherwise, given the Ukrainians didn't have the intelligence sharing.